Good morning, and thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel. I'm starting out this new year doing what I think that is a way for me to share experiences and to just talk about things that I think for a person who's my age to be able to share with those folks that are the same age or perhaps even younger on things that you see every day are things that we go through. And in this Neal talk, I want to be able to. Oh, by the way, my name is Neal, and I'm interested in sharing my experiences with individuals regarding retirement because I think that it's something that happens so quickly that we don't even think about it. You know, when I was And it seems strange now. I can say when I was 40, I just knew that everything was going to be all right, financially as well as just life itself. But because of different things that happen in life that you don't even think about at the time, you go through it. And once you go through it, it's amazing how you look at it and you say, well, I can't believe that, that happened back then. But then it's 5 years later. And now that I'm 65 and retired, I come back to the question of now what? And that now what is a question that we all can look at because it tells a story of how fast time flies and how when you're going through, you always think I have so much time to do things. One of the things I like about this part of my life is the fact that I'm wiser now. I'm more in tune with what's happening, and I want to enjoy each day because being a person of faith, it teaches you that the Bible teaches you that we don't have a lot of time on this earth to play around to do things. Therefore, just be thankful and blessed that the Lord has blessed you to be here the time that you've had, to be able to share experiences with your family, your friends, your associates, and what have you. And in doing so, I like to share some of my experiences that I think can help others to improve their life as they get older. One is when I was younger, I am originally from the South, and in the South, back in the days in the 60s and 70s, people didn't understand the idea of trying to really, really go to school and how it was going to help you improve life as you got older. But in doing that, there was not a lot of people that you can pattern yourself behind to or after to see, well, they're doing this, so it must be okay. Because living in the South or growing up in the South, most of the folk that you saw were like you. They work hard every day, try to get ahead, but not ever really getting ahead. And now that I'm older, I can see how certain things that I probably should have took upon myself to just to step out on faith. And at the time, I thought I had faith and in doing things the right way and everything was going to be all right. But I didn't study or didn't really pay attention to a lot of things that were happening in the world. And I can look at how back in the 70s and 80s, early 80s and 70s, it was just about getting a job and working. And most folk, at least folk that I'm associated with, they believe that, well, if I just get a job, everything will be all right. So every day, people were looking, like my dad used to say. He used to make my brother and I get out of bed every morning. And it used to be real funny to us because we would get up in the morning when he started yelling, go down to the end of the street and stay down there and look at the house until we see him leave. As soon as he leave, we would go back and get into bed and go back to sleep. But his philosophy was, if you're not getting a job, go and getting a job today, at least you better be looking. And that's strange because I was probably about early teens back then. And when we did find jobs, it was like we considered a job, young guys in the South. You going out raking leaves, or you doing some work around somebody's house or in a field or something. And that's something that I look at now, that in my early teens, I was one of the ones that we couldn't wait to go out and pick up pecans, and that's what we call them, pecans. Or we even went out to the cotton field. And see, I can tell you, anyone who's 65, now I won't say anyone, a black person knows that when they were in the South, 10, 12, 13, 14, either they did it or they know someone personally who went out to the fields to work. And that's unfortunate because a lot of those people have gotten older now, they're in their 80s or early 90s, something like that. And a lot of them didn't think about the opportunity to invest or even really pay into Social Security, didn't have jobs to pay into Social Security. And unfortunately now, it's coming back to haunt them. Because Social Security at the time was something that we didn't even think about. We maybe paid a little bit, but when you didn't make much, you didn't pay much. So we were kind of happy with that. We wasn't paying in, so we were getting that money. And it also went along with when I became an adult and started working. Finally, my brother and I, we just did it on a whim. We applied for federal jobs. And in my area, we were two of the ones that actually got what we consider good government jobs at the time. Let me say it proper, really good government jobs. We were both overseas diplomats. And I remember my first day, well, I won't say the first day of work, but during the first week or so, I was there when I went to my first post. The guy I was working with, he said, oh, you may need to make sure you join that 401k and buy you some property. So you overseas and you're making decent money. Well, for me, I kind of like the idea of buying some property. But that investment thing, that 401k thing didn't really hit me because at the time, I didn't know not one person black like me, let me say just like me, that was concerned about 401k because I believe that, well, I had time. I don't have to worry about it right now. And it's funny because at the time when I was an overseas officer, I had my home taken care of, utilities taken care of. And I could have easily let a little bit of my money go into 401k, but I was just, nope, I'm going to keep my money. I'm not giving them a dime, and I'm thinking I'm giving it away. And I think I can say that because there was nobody there to show me or to even tell me really. And I'm saying someone that I can look up to, that I was associated with, or that I knew was doing that. I'm young, early 30s. I don't think about my future. I'm not, I may not even get to 65. That was my mentality. So I didn't do the 401k and I didn't save. And I can say now that it's coming back to haunt me because I look at the idea that I had a couple of friends. They wasn't like me that did save towards their 401k. And I look at them now and I personally am so proud of them because they did it. And now they can reap the harvest. And, but for me, I wanted that little money every month, every week to come in my hand. Why? I don't know. I wasn't getting anything, that didn't need it. Wasn't doing anything special with it. But I didn't save. And now that I'm 65, I can look at really the idea. I'm retired. Now what? And for me, as I gotten older in life, I don't want to do certain things, certain tasks around my house. So therefore, I've been blessed that I can hire someone to cut my grass, to wash my car, take it to the car wash, or from time to time go out to a restaurant. And that's the kind of stuff to me that I've gotten away from now simply because of my finances. I want to be able to not have certain expenses. And as I've gotten 65 and retired, I do look at it and say, well, what now? And I got a lot of friends and associates that have gone on to get them part-time jobs. I got to admit, I love sleeping in when I get ready. I don't have to be asking someone, can I get a day off this time? I remember the time where I've even had my wife to call in, oh, he's sick today, he can't come. Now, as you get older and retire, the what now is, I don't need anybody to call in to tell the boss that I'm not feeling well today, or I'm going to stay home, anything like that, because if I want to get up and go, I will. If I don't, oh well, I'm not doing it. But from a financial standpoint, it becomes evident that perhaps I should do something. And I won't just necessarily say a financial standpoint, because a lot of it deals with that when you get older, sometimes when the now what is that you get that idea that I am really, really bored today. As you retire, everybody and their cousins start calling. Oh, can you go this place? Can you take me to an area or a place? Or can you do such and such for me? Or do things for the church even? And that is one of those things that you deal with in retirement. But I've been thinking about just finding me a part-time job. I know a lot of people that go to Walmart. We have, I'll say Walmart or Amazon. Sort of near where I live now, there's an Amazon. And there's quite a few people that work there. And I have one cousin that cracked me up that worked at the Amazon place that's near my house. Not near my house, it's probably about 20 miles. But he worked there every day. And I talked to him one time and I said, man, I'm thinking about coming there and get me one of those part-time jobs at Amazon, because I certainly could use the money. When you look at things like, okay, you got your cable bill this time. Now that cable bill and internet and stuff gonna run you a couple $100 a month. That's not a whole lot, but just imagine if you went out and found you a part-time job making a couple $100 a month at Amazon, and you only had to go in maybe 1 or 2 days a week. You can sit and watch TV from time to time and be happy. You know, hey, Amazon is paying for this. But when you start looking at that, ooh, my Social Security or my savings is paying for this, then it started to be a little bit different when you really think about it. It hit differently. Therefore, I want to be able to do something, but I don't want it to be such that I'm obligated. And therefore, I have been listening to and think about doing a YouTube channel, because that's one of the things that a lot of folks say, oh, you should do. And I can say, as I've gotten older, I realize there's opportunities that I missed or didn't do along the way. And that's unfortunate, because it was nobody's fault but my own that I didn't do certain thing or invest in a certain way. But now I'm coming back to regret it. But the what now is I don't have a lot of time to get there. You know, if I invest $100 today, 5 years from now, that $100 might be worth $120, maybe worth $120. But had I done that, invested $100 40 years ago, just imagine what that could be now. And it's such a hurt feeling to look back and think of how you squandered your life financially, from a financial standpoint. And unfortunately, when you get older, you think, if I just had done it a different way, done things differently, how different my life could be or how things could be. And with that, I looked at my wife and I have been thinking about doing like a lot of folk are going out of the country to live, simply because certain places around the world is more conducive to Social Security retirement. Therefore, we say, if we go to such and such place, we can live and be happy and just financially secure. Because I'm saying happy, but in the sense that I'm very happy here where I am, but I don't want to be under any delusion that from a financial standpoint, I can do what I want. Because just the other day, surprisingly, my wife asked me to go back to the store to take some grapes back that I bought. And it was something, because I bought a bag of grapes that I had. And when I got up to the cash register, those things were $11.95. Some white seedless grapes. But when I got home, she took them out of the bag and washed them and put them in the refrigerator. Over half of them were just rotten, brown, or at least turning brown. And she said, oh, we got to take these back because they're spoiled. And the old me would never take anything like that back. Hey, I go and throw it in the trash and we just had to get something else. But it hit me differently now because I'm starting to pay closer attention to finances. And I said, well, yeah, she may be right. So I did take him back to the store, and surprisingly, the lady was just nice about, oh, well, I'm sorry, go over there and get you another bag of grapes. And that's the kind of thing, just that little thing, that saved me, almost $12, $11 and something. And I said, that's something I just really hate, the idea that how expensive things are getting and how we got to go ahead and bite the bullet and pay for it. Therefore, it would be nice to find either a part-time job or something. But as I said, the difference is if you find a part-time job, that means you're obligated to show the respect and be at work on time and do what you're told. But I like this way better. Therefore, in conclusion, I decided to try to start a YouTube channel in order to hopefully to supplement our income so that we can just do a few things from time to time. And therefore, we can enjoy life such as it is, and we do enjoy ourselves. And therefore, I'm asking that you subscribe to this channel, tell others about it, because I'm going to be talking about, as we go forward, of what now? Since we're retired, what now? And I know there's a lot of folk like me that have retired and you really prefer not to have to get up in the morning when it's cold or hot and go out and stand up on your feet and do a job every day or 1 or 2 days out of the week out of obligation. Let it be something you can do at home or somewhere where what you enjoy, what you like doing. And I like sitting here talking and especially sharing my experiences of retirement, my retirement days, and just little things that I go through and I think about, So please subscribe and share this video and give us a like. And I thank you for being with me. Bye.